INCA's eastern route includes 14 visitor sites spread across 9 different islands. This route emphasises older, less volcanically active islands, where the variety of animal and bird life is truly extraordinary. We begin on the oldest island of all, Hispaniola, also the southernmost island in the archipelago. We go ashore at beautiful Gardner Bay. The white sand beach is littered with sea lions. It's well known that the birds and animals of the Galapagos have no fear of humans, but nothing can fully prepare you for that reality until you get here. A nursing mom and her pup happily ignore us, but not another juvenile who seems to want a free lunch. A very different landscape awaits us at our second site on Hispaniola, Punta Suarez. Its rocky shores are home to some of the largest marine iguanas in all the islands. For most of the year, the iguana's black coloration provides camouflage on the volcanic rocks. But during the breeding season, Hispaniola's iguanas show vibrant red and green coloration. Punta Suarez is also alive with bird colonies. A footpath takes us directly to the nesting grounds of Nazca and blue-footed boobies.
All right, a nice pair of blue-footed boobies. You see the difference in the apparent pupil size. Again, it's not the pupil, but the apparent pupil size. So up here you can actually see visually, hopefully, the difference between the male and the female.
Again, the proximity to these wild creatures is breathtaking. But the superstar of Hispaniola's seabird extravaganza has to be the endemic waved albatross. The island is the only nesting site in the world for these majestic flyers. Mated for life, more than 6,000 pairs return to the island every year between April and November. They engage in elaborate courtship dances before sharing the task of incubating a single egg. When the chicks mature, they will leave Hispaniola for as long as 5 years before returning to find their own mates and continuing the cycle. Our first day ends with a visit to a spectacular vista point overlooking the rocky shore, where the surf explodes through a blowhole, the spray reflecting the golden light as sunset approaches. The following morning finds us anchored off the island of San Cristobal. We visit briefly in the town of Puerto Bacarizo Moreno. This village is actually the capital of the Galapagos. It also has a resident population of sea lions. A bus takes us from the village to the highlands of San Cristobal. From there, we climb still higher on foot, following a boardwalk trail through hillsides of endemic Myconia. Our goal is the overlook above the largest freshwater lake in all of the Galapagos, Lake El Junco. The lake occupies the crater of an extinct volcano. Its clean, clear water lures a variety of seabirds, including frigatebirds, that swoop down to the surface for a quick drink. But the frigates can't land, because if their feathers get wet, they can't take off again. In the afternoon, we land at a beautiful crescent beach at nearby Cerro Brujo, where we set off in search of the American oystercatcher. The distinctive red colour of the oystercatcher's beak and eyes appears only as they mature. The uniform grey coloration of the chicks helps them blend into their rocky surroundings. For many travellers, the highlight of the second day is our visit to the sleeping lion, El León Dormido. more commonly known as Kicker Rock. This Galapagos landmark is actually the remains of a lava cone that has split in two. It's a great place for a swim or snorkel. If you go, there's a good chance you'll be sharing the water with a few sea turtles. We've already seen so many sea lions during our first 2 days that we may not pay as much attention to them when we land on a lovely beach on the island of Santa Fe. But they're especially numerous here, so watch your step.
Looks like there's a little area to rest in.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even see him.
Yeah, he's camouflaged.
Volcanic rocks on Santa Fe have been dated to 4 million years ago. It's a very old island. We'll make our way through towering Opuntia cactus trees. They're actually a variety of prickly pear, as we go in search of a species of land iguana found nowhere else on Earth except right here. We're also likely to meet the iguana's smaller cousin, the lava lizard. We'll have enough time for a midday kayak adventure before the short cruise to our afternoon destination on South Plazas Island. On South Plazas, we're greeted by hundreds of land iguanas roaming the colourful Sesuvium. They prosper on Opuntia cactus pads and portulaca flowers, which provide both nourishment and moisture in an environment where fresh water is hard to find. The upper bluff of this tilted platform island provides a hangout for bachelor sea lions.
And later on the night, there might be 30 or 40 of them up here, not touching each other, but almost. And they would never tolerate that back in the breeding colonies. So they actually have this social accord among themselves that all bets are off up here.
Below, the windswept cliff face is home to nesting swallowtail gulls and red-billed tropic birds. Sunsets like these bring out the photographer in all of us. If there's a single day when cameras should be mandatory, it's the 4th day of the eastern route when we visit Genovesa Island. Also called Tower Island, it's home to the greatest concentration of bird colonies in the Galapagos. INCA is one of the only tour companies that can bring you here. A panga ride takes us through Great Darwin Bay, formed when the wall of an ancient volcanic caldera collapsed to let in the sea. The crater walls are alive with nesting birds. We land at the base of Prince Philip Steps. A short, steep climb brings us up to the barranco, where we're immediately plunged into the world of boobies and frigate birds. Red-footed boobies, Nazca boobies, frigate bird chicks in their nests in the Palo Santo trees. We also see short-eared owls lying in wait for their favourite prey, storm petrels. On the other side of the volcanic crater, on a crescent beach, we find elegant black lava gulls. Striated herons and yellow-crowned night herons. And in the salt marshes nearby, male frigate birds, their unmistakable pouches inflated in hopes of attracting a mate. If you aren't a birdwatcher when you arrive on Genovesa, you will be when you leave. The variety and proximity to so many species is unlike anywhere else in the Galapagos. If day 4 is for the birds, day 5 is all about geology. During the night, we cruise south to the island of Santiago, an island that actually consists of 2 overlapping volcanoes. In the morning, we go ashore at Sullivan Bay, where the landscape looks like nothing we've seen before. Some of this Pahoehoe lava has been here for little more than 100 years, the blink of an eye in geologic time. It's the perfect place to learn about the formation of the archipelago, a cauldron of volcanic activity that began some 5 million years ago and continues to this day.
Welcome to the Sullivan Bay lava flow, and actually you're in Sullivan Bay right now, because this used to be a bay in the ocean, but now it's all been filled up with lava. About 10 years of continuous activity from 1890 to 1900. These islands you see over there truly are islands, and that they were islands in the bay, and then they got drowned out by the new lava, and that's called a kipuka.
After a morning exploring this seemingly liquid landscape, we're ready for a swim and snorkel. The nearby island of Bartolome provides the perfect location. We're likely to be joined by penguins. We go ashore for a hike to the top of Bartolome, using a wooden stairway over the fragile volcanic tufa. Bartolome is actually a giant cinder cone, a fact that becomes apparent when we reach the top and look down its flanks to enjoy one of the most spectacular views in the entire archipelago. It's hard to believe our last day has arrived. We're headed for the island of Rabida when a school of playful dolphins diverts our attention. Rabida's distinctive dark red beaches result from the oxidation of the island's lava. This small island is a great snorkeling site, rich with undersea life. We spend the afternoon on Sombrero Chino, a tiny island off the tip of Santiago. The name reflects the islet's distinctive profile. It means Chinese hat. Sombrero Chino gives us a final glimpse of our friends the sea lions, as well as a chance to watch one of the most unlikely residents of the archipelago, the Galapagos penguin. Usually associated with the frigid Antarctic, these penguins come north to the equator by way of the cold and powerful Humboldt Current, one of 4 ocean currents that converge in the Galapagos. The penguins are a final reminder of the uniqueness of this extraordinary place. Back aboard our yacht, we relax on the upper deck, savouring a final beverage and a final sunset, as we reflect on a week unlike any other, because it's been spent in a world unlike any other, the Galapagos.